Please tell me 3 facts about yourself.
My favorite rock singer of all time is Freddie Mercury of Queen. If I could have all of the dogs in the world, if I could keep all of them myself, I would take all of the dogs. The best job I ever had was washing dishes when I was 13 years old, because you got to look at your work at the end of the night and it was completely done and everything was lined up and it was perfect, and you could go home and go to sleep knowing that you did good work and not have to worry about the next day.
Can you please tell me, what do you think about the future of sales and marketing?
I have written a lot about, and I think that's even on my bio, I read a lot about the future. But what I've recognized maybe over the last couple years is that the future, as much as we think it's coming faster than it normally comes, the more interesting question to ask is what's still going to be true in the future? Not what's going to be different, but what's going to be the same. So what I think about the future is it's going to look an awful lot like the past. And I think that human beings as a species don't change all that much or all that fast. So are people still going to want to trust other people that they get into business with? I think so. Are relationships still going to be important? I think so. Are you going to need to create value for other people if you really want to make a difference and a contribution? I think so. Are people still going to be challenging and difficult to work with? I think they probably will. So I think the future is going to look a lot like the past.
In your opinion, Anthony, what is good sales and marketing?
Those are two very, very different ideas. So I have to split them in half to talk about them. So sales is a one-to-one or a few-to-few interaction where you're actually sitting across from an individual, serving them and trying to find out how you can create value for them and help them do something that they can't do without your help. Marketing is communicating in a way that gets attention for what it is that you do to create value for other people. And it's to many, it's not to one. And I don't think that you can mix these two things together in the way that some people are doing it now and saying, well, it's marketing. Salespeople have to be marketers. Sure, salespeople need to do things that help people find them and understand what they do and recognize the value they create. But marketing is one to many, and sales is one to one. And so it's a very, very different interaction. In marketing, you're far away from me. My messaging matters a great deal. But in sales, it's intimate. The intimacy, there's no intimacy in marketing, but there's definitely intimacy in sales. So good sales is the kind of selling that allows you to create value and help somebody get a result they can't get without you. And I've written this before. It's not something you do to people. It's something you do for people and with people. And good marketing is something that you communicate to many people to create value for them so that they understand what you might do to help them produce better results.
What advice would you give to a 20-year-old yourself?
At 20 years old, I was really, really dumb. I'm only slightly less dumb now. And I probably would just leave my 20-year-old self alone. And I probably wouldn't offer my 20-year-old self much advice. I think that my 20-year-old self just needed to be my 20-year-old self at that time. And I don't want to go back and give him any advice. I'm just going to let him make the mistakes that he made because that was the best way for him to learn. And even if some of the learning was painful and some of it took too long, it was still his path, so I'm just going to leave him right where he is.
In your opinion, what skill or skill set is essential to succeed in future?
I mean, I think they're the same in every field. And right behind you is a copy of The Only Sales Guide You'll Ever Need. And the first half of that book are those attributes, their character traits. So I don't know about skills. Skills continue to evolve. And in that book, I talked about business acumen, which is understanding how to think about business and provide advice. Change management, which is about how you build consensus and help people change. And leadership. I think those three are the skills. And I think for success in any endeavor, we start with discipline and optimism and caring and competitiveness and resourcefulness and initiative and accountability and communication skills. I think all of those things, whatever, and again, we're back to, do you look forward or do you look backwards? If you look backwards, all of those concepts that I just rattled off have been necessary for human beings to be successful, for thousands and thousands of years.
Can you give one concrete and practical advice for sales and marketing professionals to onboard tomorrow to make their sales and marketing better?
Yeah, in my new book, Eat Their Lunch, I talk about the 4 levels of value creation. And the first one is your focus is the value in the product. The second one is your focus is the value in your experience or service and support. The third is the value in the result that you produce. And the fourth is the strategic outcomes that you generate. If you want one thing to make sales easier for you and to improve both your sales and marketing, you flip that and you don't start at level 1, you start at 4. You start to explain to people the strategic outcome they could get and not your product, not your service, or not the tangible result you produce.
Would you have any last words?
Am I in front of like a firing squad or am I being executed? You're asking me for my last words? I didn't even get a last meal.
I think I'm looking for the last words for the viewers of this program.
Okay, so if you're viewing this, I would tell you, if you want to come and visit me, go to thesalesblog.com, sign up for the newsletter. When you get there, it's my favorite piece of work I do every single week. It comes out on Sunday. And I'll say what I always say, do good work and go make a difference for people.
Let's wave to the viewers.
There you go.